pro-democracy protests continue in the Kingdom of eSwatini. Reports of the detention of 2 South African journalists came in yesterday. To get reaction on this developing story now, let's bring in the head of the Africa Desk of Media Review Network South Africa. That's Dr. Mustafa Mheta. Joins us via our video link. Dr. Mustafa, thanks very much indeed for making time. In a statement you released, I imagine, a short while ago, you say that it's utterly reprehensible that the Kingdom's security forces are acting with such heavy-handedness. But the question becomes, what actually can be done considering what took place?
Well, they know very well as the government what they should do, and what they should do definitely is none other than listening to what the citizens are saying. The king of Swaziland is slowly losing his legitimacy. And I think if he doesn't move very fast and act very quickly, events might unfold that will tell otherwise. The people, his people wanted to respect him, but he's not showing, he's not reciprocating on, what the people want. They know very well that they should not be doing what they're doing. And it's a matter of, giving an ear to the citizens and let them, together with government dialogue and come up with a better solution.
Perhaps let's take a step back. What do you know to have taken place to these 2 journalists in eSwatini?
Well, these 2 journalists who were detained, the 2 South African journalists, Magnificent Ndebele and Kebelishe Mbuisa, were on an assignment with the New Frame, a South African news company. They were allegedly detained, from what they are saying, assaulted and tortured by security forces in eSwatini. Now, these journalists who were covering the protests and, going on in eSwatini at the moment, and also reported the murder that were happening in the country, have since, of course, been released yesterday. They were captured by the security forces while on an assignment on Sunday. This is the latest that we got, and they are back home now at the moment. But they were tortured, severely beaten, using some of the very unconventional ways of torture, including plastic, covering them in plastic, and the kind of torture that the civilized world of today does not allow.
Right.
Yeah.
As a media monitoring organization, I'm sure you have an interest in ensuring that whilst pulling journalists out for their safety is a consideration that can't be ignored, allowing the story to continue being told is another aspect that needs attention. How best do we do that? Because I imagine for many eMaSwati watching us, that's the real fear, that the repression is working.
Oh, yes, and they will continue doing that, we know. It's a bit risky, but I know there are people out there who want, the whole story, to be told, and, in that way contribute assisting the people of eSwatini with their fight, the fight that, is going on, that of trying to bring democracy, to eSwatini. And all I can say to them, it's a very difficult situation that they are going through, but these are the birth pangs of democracy. It doesn't just come easy. You have to fight, some people lose, their lives along the way, especially the journalists who are always in the forefront. They are targeted. They are, a lot of things happen to them.
Yeah.
But there will always be people who go out there and, defy the regime.
Very quickly, you've spoken out quite strongly against SADC in your statement. Do you honestly, perhaps upon reflection, believe that anything substantial can come from SADC?
I doubt. I'm a very skeptic about SADC. And I think you heard from the MP who spoke just before me that they don't understand, because last Sunday they were there, including our own foreign minister, international relations minister, Dr. Naledi Pando, and Ms. Kwape, who happens to be the foreign minister in Botswana, and the delegation from SADC. They were there, and they just went in there, were entertained by the government, given lunch and everything, and out they went. They left the country without even seeing the opposition forces to sit down with them and hear their side of the story. They just heard from the government, and then later, released a statement that the eSwatini government actually released a statement on SADC that they will constitute a crew from the government side and a crew from the opposition side, and then maybe start dialogue and things like that. It was not a bold statement of saying we want to really solve this. So this king is playing. The king is actually playing with fire. But I think you cannot stop something from happening when its time has arrived.
Yeah.
And I think to be honest with you, I'm one of those who actually believes very strongly that Murena Mswati has actually lost his legitimacy with his people.
I wonder what that means for keeping the story alive in a context where we don't even believe SADC, which is meant to represent the interests of democratic and fair rule, is essentially seen as a toothless body at this stage. But Dr. Mustafa Mheta, thanks for your take on this. I imagine many other people will be weighing in as we watch the situation in eSwatini continue to unfold. Dr. Mheta is head of the Africa desk at the Media Review Network in South Africa.